All right, let's talk about cryptocurrency. It's a word that's, everywhere these days. But what does it actually mean? It sounds super complicated, I know, but the big idea behind it is way simpler than you might think. So let's break it down together. So let's just start with this one powerful question. Imagine for a second, what if you could send money to literally anyone on the planet, instantly, without having to go through a bank or get anyone's permission? That one idea, that's the engine driving this whole crypto world.
Okay, first things first, let's get right into the absolute basics of what this new kind of digital money really is. So, at its core, what are we really talking about here? It's simple. First, it's money that's 100% digital. No paper bills, no metal coins, it just exists online. And second, and this is the big one, it cuts out the middleman. You can send it directly from you to someone else without a bank stepping in. It's all about that direct person-to-person connection.
But you might be wondering, if there's no bank, who's keeping track of everything? How do we know who has what? Well, the answer is this amazing technology called the blockchain. It's basically the public rulebook that makes the whole thing work. Let me walk you through how it works in just a few simple steps. So let's say Alice wants to send 1 Bitcoin to Bob. That request gets bundled up with a bunch of others into a new block. Then that block gets locked onto the end of the chain. And here's the magic part. Once it's on there, that record is public for everyone to see. It's incredibly secure, and no one, not Alice, not Bob, nobody, can ever go back and change it.
This is probably the best way to picture it in your head. It's like a giant, shared digital notebook. Everyone can flip through the pages to see all the transactions that have ever happened. But because of some really clever math, nobody can scribble anything out or tear out a page. It's a system that's built on being totally transparent and totally secure at the same time.
So, okay, we've got the what down, but what about the why? Why was this even created in the first place? For that, we got to look at the Bitcoin revolution. Now, the timing here is absolutely crucial. Bitcoin didn't just appear out of nowhere. It showed up in 2009, right on the heels of the massive 2008 financial crisis, when trust in the entire banking system was at an all-time low. Its creator, who's still a mystery by the way, Satoshi Nakamoto, put this out there as a totally different way of doing things, and that one idea just exploded into the global movement we see today.
This was the radical question at the heart of it all. The whole philosophy was about creating a financial system that wasn't controlled by any one company or government. It was about taking that power and putting it back in the hands of regular people.
But you know what? Bitcoin was just the start. Its creation basically opened the floodgates, and now we've got a whole universe of thousands of different coins. So a simple way to think about the crypto world is to split it into 2 big buckets. In one bucket, you have Bitcoin. It's the original, the OG, the one that kicked this whole thing off. And in the other bucket, you have, well, everything else. We call those altcoins, and each one is basically an experiment, trying to improve on Bitcoin's original idea in some way.
And the sheer variety is pretty wild. They all have different missions. Take Ethereum. It's not just about sending money. It's a platform people can use to build whole new applications. Then you've got coins like Litecoin or Solana that are all about being faster and cheaper than Bitcoin, while others like Cardano are focused on security and being more eco-friendly. It's this huge competitive ecosystem of ideas.
Okay, so the tech is fascinating, for sure. But what are people actually doing with this stuff? Why does any of this matter in the real world?
Well, people are using it for all sorts of reasons. On the practical side, it can be a way faster and cheaper way to send money to family in another country. For some, it's a way to save money outside of their own country's shaky currency. Then, of course, you've got the whole investment world, with people trading it, hoping to make a profit. And then there's the creative side, developers building new tools and artists creating one-of-a-kind digital art called NFTs.
But listen, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We have to talk about the future. And just as important, we have to talk about the risks.
And this is the big one, right? The most important question you can ask. The blockchain technology itself is designed to be super secure, but that absolutely does not mean that using crypto is risk-free. Far from it. Here's the deal. First, the prices can be incredibly volatile. They can swing up and down like a roller coaster. Second, just like with regular money, scams are a real problem you have to watch out for. And third, and this is so important, unlike a bank, you are 100% responsible for your own security. That means you have to protect your private keys, which are kind of like a super password to your money, that if you lose it, it's gone forever. So the golden rule is really simple. Learn before you leap. Invest carefully.
Honestly, the perfect way to think about where we are right now is to compare it to the internet back in the early 90s. Remember that? Back then, people thought it was just a weird thing for nerds, and nobody could imagine we'd be streaming movies or using social media. Crypto is in that same spot right now. It's filled with potential, excitement, and a whole lot of question marks.
And because it's so new, public opinion is all over the map. You've got the true believers who are convinced this is the future of everything. You've got the major skeptics who think it's all just risky business. And then you have this huge group of people right in the middle who are just curious. They're watching and learning. There's just no consensus yet on where all this is headed.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought. When you look past the crazy headlines and the fluctuating prices, cryptocurrency is really asking us a big question. What is value and who gets to control it? It's more than just new money. It's a whole new toolkit. And the biggest question of all isn't what crypto will become, but what we decide to build with it.